Today is going to be all things Vosteed. So I have quite a few products from this company, and I have to say they have definitely impressed me. We're going to talk a little bit about who they are, what their greatest strengths are, my favorite models, and where they can go from here. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, I think one of the strongest aspects of this brand is design. They have nailed it almost every single time they design a knife. I think that's all of them. Yeah, that's pretty much everything I have from this company when it comes to folders. Now, my first experience with their design team is with this knife, the Nightshade. And it is one that when I first saw it, I'm like, yeah, it looks kind of weird. And then when you use it, you're like, oh my God. This is one of the most useful blade shapes, the most useful folders I have ever touched. And I still feel that way. In fact, it has ruined me since I just have to compare everything to this because of the way it slices, the way it works in food prep. It is a shorter blade, but yet somehow manages to do better than most of my longer knives at a variety of different tasks. Well done. This knife, which is based on a Schilling cutter, not only taught me a whole new appreciation for cutting geometry, I was blown away by the action, the fit and finish, the attention to detail, the fact that they used a pocket clip that took everybody's feedback into consideration, and just putting the jimping in the right place, pretty much doing everything correct right off the bat, including price points. So they are right where they're supposed to be for the combination of features that they are listing here, that they show. So 154 cm with some G10 with proper pocket clip, and all of the finishing with the crown spine, about $70. That's exactly where it's supposed to be with 154 cm. You see some companies charging over $100 for this, and they are not gouging anyone, and I love that. Not only are they doing great design work, they're doing a great variety of different designs. So we have two button locks in the Valkyrie as well as the Raccoon. We have liner locks up here along with the Nightshade, and they have taken a very different tact. They're not so focused on the handle materials that they boost up the prices too much, really keeping the geometry at the forefront and actually making sure that these knives really function. And they do. They function very well. The second knife I got, which is the Raccoon, it quickly became one of my favorite button locks and is still one of my favorite button locks today. Now, I'm going to say that, and a lot of people in the comments who are part of the knife community are going to remember that recently there was a lot of talk about how this, when hit on its spine, could come closed. And that is also true for this particular model. But the way Vosteed reacted to that is so impressive to me. Not only did they comment and make sure that if you don't like it, that they'll take care of you 100%. Their updated version, their newest releases you can find on Amazon, all have this problem fixed. They have actually changed the geometry inside the button here, and they have also changed the hardness of the steel to grab even better. So they responded by making anyone who had this particular model, have the option to, get that taken care of, but they also fixed the design. That's the way everyone should react. I want everyone to pay attention. If you're a knife maker, this is the way to handle situations. To respond, be clear, and fix the problem. Boom. Great job by Vosteed. And I think they're doing the same thing for the Valkyrie as well. Now, speaking of the Valkyrie, I love this knife in that it has multiple ways to deploy it. And that's something you're going to see a lot. This company likes their deployment methods. So front flipper, back flipper, thumb stud, reverse flick, you name it. You can do it all, right, with these types of knives. And yeah, design architecture, once again, amazing. And they continue to have a variety of different cutting geometries. This has got to be second on my list from them. Hollow grind, super slicey clip point with, yeah, that was my nail from earlier. And it has that beautiful fuller that lets you reverse flick it as well. So you can reverse flick this knife. You can back flip this knife. You can front flip this knife. Yeah, you can do all kinds of cool stuff. I love this one. Actually, the only thing I don't like is that this has cold steel level of traction. So if you do get this knife, make sure you file down below this pocket clip unless you'd like it to tear a hole through your pants. Other than that, I think they nailed this one perfectly. And then, yeah, they even have a knife for the big boys, the people who like a big knife. And this is absolutely that. 3.75 on the Labrador. Nice, thin, full flat grind. 154 cm yet again, with all of the different deployment methods that you could possibly want. Yeah, there you go. And they continue to take these things into account. I love that Vosteed is doing this. And this could end up being my favorite thing they've ever made. They got rid of the flipper tab. They add the cutout hole, so now I can reverse flick this thing. Whew, God, that action is crazy. So good. Anyway, this is not the only thing they make. Most people don't know. They also make some chef's knives. Pretty good ones, and I've actually used them quite a bit since getting them. Considering how much I used them and the fact that I put them in the dishwasher every time, I know you're not supposed to do that, but I do because I wanted to see how they hold up. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Let's go to the knife that I use the most. This one, the chef's knife. How does this turn out? Absolutely nothing. And I have not sharpened it since, but I've used it a bunch. How does it look? You know what? It's pretty impressive. All of these have a 9CR core with a secondary steel on the outer side, but the core of this is a 9CR, and it is very, very nice. So I've been very pleased with their chef's knives. They come in these nice cases, and they also, this is one of the coolest things, they collaborated with one of my favorite people out there. If you're not familiar with Raylight, this was a passion project that started with him. He wanted to have a flashlight that he was satisfied with, and he has since made a variety of different models. In fact, I have another one right in my pocket here that I've been playing around with. Same company, and they collaborated together to make the Rook. Love it. Great flashlight, and yeah. They have made a lot of very good choices, this company. Now, with that, let's talk about my top favorite knives. Let's go right to that, and the ones you should absolutely consider if you're thinking of getting at least one model from this company. So coming in at number 3, it's going to have to be this one. I just love the way this thing cuts. I don't think it's necessarily unique as far as geometry is concerned, but the sizing is perfect. The grip on this is so good. It's so good. Maybe a little too good under the pocket clip, but that's easily fixed. Just keep that in mind. That's the one drawback you're going to have to run into. But as an EDC knife and just a great complement to the multi-tools I like to carry, God, this knife is so nice. And it covers pretty much every form of opening that I could possibly want. Yeah, I can do it all with this thing. And yeah, definitely something you want to check out if you're interested in trying one from this company. Coming in at number 2, it's going to have to be the Vosteed Raccoon. So as I said, the modern version of this, the one you can buy on Amazon right now, is not going to have any issues whatsoever, and it's going to have all the amazing action goodness with incredible ergonomics that you can get from this. I don't know why all of these shapes just fit so good, but it is one of the most comfortable knives I've ever seen. In fact, I think this is the only knife I've experienced, the only button lock that comes close to matching the CJRB Pyrite on so many levels. This is the only one. Now, with the one issue that came up and is now addressed, I think we could have a real conversation on who has the best budget knife at around $50 to $60. Hard to say, but if you're going to try one for Vosteed and you want to only spend about $60, this is your baby right here. 14C 28N, my absolute favorite budget steel. In some ways, I kind of like it better than 154 cm. Yeah, this is the one to test. Love it, super comfortable. The micarta is awesome and just the right thickness. Worth a shot. And that brings us easily to the number one, the knife you got to try. You have to try this knife. It will blow you away with how useful it is. Just Nightshade. Nightshade is the one to go for. It's a fantastic steel with 154 cm. The fit and finish is just phenomenal. It will spoil you. If this is your first knife in this price point, around the $70 price point, this is a great knife at that price. In fact, I don't know many I would pick over this. I think they're all Kaisers probably, maybe some CJRB. But seriously, from this brand, I've never had any cutting experience like this. It's worth a shot. And there are now 2 variants to pick from. You can go with the hole cutout, which is going to give you a little bit more handle grip. And frankly, I'm not super worried about sliding up on this because of the way it kind of pulls out of your hand versus into it with your cuts. It's definitely good for draw cutting. It's just a phenomenal blade shape. I like both variants. I couldn't pick between the 2. I got to have both. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be keeping all 3 of these because I just love them that much. You know, I got the orange when I want to carry the awesome Rook, right? And then I got either the all black with those beautiful copper bolsters. I think that's what it's called. Bolsters? No. Collars. Pivot collar. Whoops. Not what I meant. Or go with the flipper. I don't know which one I like the best, but they're all amazing. If you're going to try one, this is the one to try, the Nightshade. That's pretty much it. If they're going to do anything else, I think I'd just like to see a few more knives in 14C, around that $50 price point, that magic number. If they can just produce something else, I don't know what, maybe a small, dare I say, baby banter, competitor, that would be amazing. Something that opens up that market a little bit more. I feel like that is an incredibly underappreciated size range. With the baby banter and the lander, those are phenomenal small knives, and I'd like to see them offer something in that general space. Anyway, that's it for today. Your introduction to Vosteed, some of the different knives that they make. Definitely something to check out. They have done a great job, and their customer service, if it continues up, is going to help carry them well into the future. You guys have a good one, and we'll talk again soon.